Hello and welcome to episode 318 of the video show. We are live once again, and today we're talking about struggling for ideas. So this has purely come about because probably for the last month I haven't made many new episodes of the video show. I think I've made one new episode, and that's purely because I was just struggling for ideas, struggling about thinking about what things I could come up with, what questions I could answer, and really kind of second guessing myself about what I should be talking about. And it's been a little bit of a problem for the last month or so, and I've really sort of let it get to me, let it stop me making new content. So I have posted the old videos, like 317 other video shows I could post, but having those also helps you, it also sort of has stopped me creating new stuff because I've worried about it. I've thought maybe I've done this before, do I have to do this again? Is there a way of doing this again? Are people getting bored of the same old thing? I think maybe the format of the video show as well has got a little bit stale for me personally, because it was kind of like sit on the sofa, talk about a question, answer a question, and that's it. So I thought I'd try and change it up a bit, make a live show as regularly as I can. I'm probably going to try for once a week. I've also got another show that goes out as well. That'll be more sort of series and sort of go and come back in the year. So it'll be like 7 episodes. It'll go for a bit and then come back later in the year. And that's a bit more niche about what I'm talking about there. But really, in this video, I want to talk about how you can get past this feeling of struggling for ideas and how to come up with new ways of creating videos. And I'm going to talk about how I'm changing the format of the video show in the next few weeks, how that's going to change. I think there's going to be a live element to it, there'll be pre-recorded elements to it as well, and it'd be interesting to know your take on it as well. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you're watching this live or if you're watching this later on as well. Let's have a look what little banners I can put on the bottom. There you go. Oh, that's the wrong one. So yeah, what kind of things should I talk about in the next few weeks as well? I've got a video I want to make next week about sponsored content. So let me know what you think I should be talking about as well, because that really does help me come up with ideas. If people ask me questions, that's like the first way I come up with new content ideas. So let's have a little look at my traditional way of creating videos. Let's mosey on over to pre-recorded corner and see what I've got to say about the traditional way of coming up with ideas. Hello and welcome to Pre-Recorded Corner, the part of the show where I get to take a little break from the live stream and talk about a few of the things that I probably am going to forget in the actual episode. So in this bit of Pre-Recorded Corner, I want to talk about the regular ways that I come up with ideas to create videos. So at the moment I'm struggling a little bit to come up with ideas, but this is what I usually do, and this is what has helped me create the 318 episodes before this one. So first, I think it's a really good idea to answer your frequently asked questions. So when you're at a networking event, or more likely these days when you're on a Zoom call, or you sort of think of an idea yourself, think of a question that people would ask, write that question down, because that's a really good idea for content for your videos. Secondly, talk about problems you've had and how you've gone about fixing them. So for me, it's problems such as lighting, problems such as finding the right way to get subtitles for your videos. Any sort of problem that you've got and that you've had and you've got past is a really good story to tell in terms of creating content for people, because people are likely to have had those problems as well. So if you're answering those questions, if you're preempting people asking those questions, then that's another good way of creating content. Number 3 is use customer experiences. So for me, if I've had a particular problem with a customer, maybe like they've had a problem with YouTube, or they've had significant success on a particular platform, that's a really good way to talk about stuff as well. So think about customer stories, where they've gone from, say if they've gone from this point to they've made a jump to this point. Think about how a customer experience can really tell a story and how other people will fit into that as well. Number 4 is interview interesting people. This is a great way of getting a different perspective to your videos, getting someone else who may have had a different experience to you, or may complement what you're trying to say.
So having somebody else on the show just gives your videos a little bit of extra power in terms of bringing their audience on board as well. This is kind of the backbone for a lot of the shows I create, including live streaming, the Mob Show, and an upcoming show I've got in January. By interviewing these people, you're getting a new perspective and something you may not have considered before. Number 5 is look at the news. And this helped me yesterday, in fact, where I work with somebody who talks about unconscious bias and racism in the workplace. And there was a story in the news that was very much that would very much sort of fit into what he talks about. So I sent him the link. I said, we need to create a video about this. And then a few hours later, we'd made a series of videos that we put out that day and got a number of views, a number of comments. And if we hadn't have been looking at the news, if that story hadn't have come up, we wouldn't have had that bit of content. So look at the news. If there's something that's relevant, strike while the iron's hot, comment on it, and then I think you'll get a lot more engagement that way. So keep an eye on the news. So that's it for this episode of Pre-Recorded Corner. Let me know what you think about the new set. I've done some painting in the office. I've got a few new props going on. Let me know what you think about the new background, the new set, and yeah, post it in the comments below. So that's it from the pre-recorded section of this video. Back to the live broadcast. I'll see you in a minute over there. Bye.
So, yeah, I've learned a lot over the past few years of creating these videos about how to come up with ideas, and the first one really is answering people's questions. So if you do have a question for a future episode, it would really help me out. Put it in the comments below. I'll be very happy to answer it. And then what I learned this week was looking at the news. So as I said, there was a story that came up in the news that was really relevant for somebody that I work with, and I just suggested we should make a video about this. And within the next few hours, we had like a number of videos talking about that subject. So in terms of creating videos around the news, it really is about striking while the iron's hot. So do look at the news, do look at what's trending on social media, and see if you can create content around that kind of thing. So as I said, I'm really struggling for ideas at the moment, and that's really put me off making videos, but it shouldn't really put you off creating videos yourself. Look at those 5 points, look about how you can create videos, answer people's questions, and really try not to be like me, try not to let it put you off. So what I've decided to do to make sure that I keep making my videos, I've been doing this for sort of 5 years, I made over 300 episodes of the video show now. What I've decided to do is to change the format a little bit and see if I can keep myself like mentally engaged with what the video show is. And I think that's what the video show is all about, is creating new types of videos. So if you look past over the last like 300 episodes, the format has changed loads. And that's really helped me sort of keep making these videos. So I made like a number of vlogs. I've changed the studio around. I've changed location. There was a time when I was just walking to work talking. If people remember those did quite well. We've got a comment. Sam Baldwin, totally agree with this. You definitely get better engagement when it's current. Totally agree, Sam. Yeah. So as I said before, like that is a really sort of topical subject that came up in the news. And we've really pushed that out, and he's got quite a lot of engagement off the back of that. So yeah, thank you, Sam, for watching. Yeah, so what I've decided to do, instead of sort of sat on the sofa and pre-recording everything, I've decided to make the video show a live show and then have pre-recorded corner as like a pre-recorded segment of the video show that people can watch on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and I'll share that out as my pre-recorded video every week. And in terms of the live show, I'm going to tackle a question or a subject and then talk about that through the live show, maybe bring in interviews, things like that, but really just try and change it up a bit to make sure that I keep being engaged with it. Then the audio of this will also be available as a podcast, and you'll be able to watch this later on YouTube, on LinkedIn as well. Also, if you do want to know anything about the gear I'm using, anything like that, feel free to post something in the comments. I've put a lot of time into creating this over both lockdowns. It's very complicated. I have made videos about this, but I'm very passionate about talking about it, so I will make more videos if that's of interest. So let me know what kind of things you want me to answer, what kind of questions you want me to answer, and I will answer those in future episodes of the show. But first, let's talk about what's happening next week. So in next week's show, I'm going to be talking about branded or sponsored content. This is the kind of content that people create because they've been paid to do it. And I've been caught out by this a few times where it's sort of not immediately obvious that somebody's being sponsored to create this content, but I've then bought a product, like usually a camera or something, off the back of it, but I've been caught out by it, and then I don't really use that camera anymore. Let me know if you've been caught out by sort of sponsored content. You've bought a product that maybe hasn't been as great as you thought it would have been, what you've wasted your money on, and then also what sponsored content's been really worthwhile for you as well. So we'll be talking about that in next week's show. So that's it for episode 318. I think it went all right. Let me know in the comments. But that's it. I'll see you next time in episode 319. Have an absolutely fabulous weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.